Okay. Good evening, everybody. Hope you guys can hear me. I doubt if you can because I just plugged in my microphone. Hopefully, you guys can hear me now. So, again, welcome. This is Donovan Saadiq. I am the recovering Democrat. I am sitting in for Demetra K, who is on a well earned vacation. We're going to do this on my platform. I'm not going to take too long today. I hope you guys are having a great Sunday. Big news. It's not a big surprise to us, but it's big news that is really shocking across the nation. And I don't know why it's shocking, but we told you, ladies and gentlemen, we got him. Down goes Biden. Down goes Biden. Down goes Biden. President Joe Biden today has finally looked into reality and basically has said that it's time for him to go. The question that we need to be asking ourselves is, the Democratic Party has been lying to us for a very, very long time. Kamala Harris has known that this man's condition is what it was. For those of us that have elderly people in our families and have dealt with elderly people that have cognitive decline, dementia and all these other stuffs, we know how tough and how hard it is to watch that loved one go through that type of condition. And for a long time, the Democrats, once again, who we have said on this show is authoritarian and is basically fascist in how they conducted themselves and tried to lie to you, the American people, about the servitude of Joe Biden. What I mean by servitude is these people are not leaders. Leaders do not get elected. Leaders are just that. They're leaders. These people are public servants. So the public service of Joe Biden, these Democratic shills have known this for a long time, and they continue to lie to us over and over and over again. They are now saying that Kamala Harris, Joe Biden is going to be endorsing Kamala Harris as his replacement. And if you're asking me, that is not a very good idea. It is apparent to this reporter that the Democrats have resigned themselves to the fact that they are going to lose the presidency to a now convicted felon, Donald Trump. They've resigned themselves to that fact. They can't beat him. Legal warfare didn't work. They couldn't get this man locked up. They couldn't get him tied up in litigation. It just did not work. So they have resigned themselves to losing the presidency. The question is, what is their plan? Hey, Miss Pamela, how are you? Hope you, if you could hear me, give me a thumbs up. Or yes, you could hear me. Just let me know, because I plugged my thing in once I started broadcasting. But the thing about the Democrats now is they are in full panic mode. They already know Kamala Harris, who is polling worse than Joe Biden, who just quit today. So I want you guys to use your basic logic. I want you to think about this. If Joe Biden is polling better than, okay, thank you, Pam. I appreciate that. If Joe Biden is polling better than Kamala Harris, why would you put Kamala Harris as the, hey, Jev, as the standard bearer of the party? Unless you know you're going to lose and you don't want to put some of your possible rising stars up there now and wait until the next 4 years. Miss Sweet Talk, hey, how are you doing? Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Demetra is on a well-deserved vacation with her family. She's out there cruising the Mediterranean, probably in her nice, beautiful burqa with just the eyes, and the form-fitting great thing. I myself went out to Atlanta and enjoyed a little of blackness. It was great to go out there. And I know I'm doing a little side thing right now. But thanks to the city of Atlanta. It was really great to visit there. I used to fly into Marietta all the time, pick up airplanes and do what I can do there because there's a big Lockheed Martin plant there. And as you guys know, the military C-130 aircrafts come out of that plant. We used to have that plant here in California, but all the regulations ran all the big corporations and the good businesses out of here. So, yeah, Demetra is, Demetra will probably be back next week. And she's out there cruising out there with her family, her dad, and all those other things. So I try to keep her abreast of what's going on in the world if she gets a signal. I don't know. I've never been on a cruise, so I don't know how that really works. I've been on a Navy cruise. I've been on aircraft carrier, a Navy cruise. I've never been on a civilian cruise. That's one of my goals I need to write down. So again, back to my point about the Kamala Harris thing. She is polling worse than Joe Biden, who just quit today. So for them to get behind Kamala Harris basically tells you they are resigned to lose the presidency. What the Democrats are going to try to do is they are going to try to hold the Senate and pick up a few seats in the House to take control of the House. So their next big plan is this. If Donald Trump will become the next president, okay, fine. They are trying to control these two houses so that they can put a check and balance on what Donald Trump can do as president. Because again, you need these two houses to make a law. You need the legislative branch to do that. But however, Donald Trump is very, very acute with the executive pen. And even though it's not technically a law, he can do whatever he wants to do by executive pen. And it's going to be very, very hard to stop that because the legislation has nothing to do with executive orders. They can challenge it by sending it to the Supreme Court. But oh my God, lo and behold, who controls the Supreme Court? 3 of the nominees, justices sitting on the Supreme Court, were appointed by Donald Trump. So even if the Democrats challenge his executive orders, what are the chances that the Supreme Court says it's perfectly fine? This is what the Democrats get for not paying attention and doing for their most loyal base, which is the Black American in this country. Ms. Sweets Talk says, why would Biden step down? Was it pressure from the Democrats? Well, Ms. Sweet Talk, it really wasn't pressure from the Democrats. Remember, hey, Ashley, how are you doing? It wasn't pressure from the Democrats that made Biden step down. It was pressure from the donor class, where he's getting his money. That is what made Biden step down. If you don't have no money, it's very, very hard to run. So what does that tell you as an average American citizen? Basically, what it tells you is we have a class of rich people who set the agenda for the American people in this country. The donors are the ones that made him step down. They turned off the spigot pipe and said, no, we've seen enough. But what bothers me about the Democrats, and I know I come hard for Democrats because I'm a recovering Democrat, right? Because in my heart, that is, what I was born and raised to do. My question is this. They've known for a long time that this man has had this condition. And those of us that have elderly relatives and friends, we know what this condition looks like. So the question that I have is, who has been running this country for the last 3 years? Who? Hey, Brother Reggie, good to see you back. Yeah, the donors are behind the scenes, but I am concerned about who has been running this country. To put Kamala Harris up, and I know, ladies, I know. Women think that they are going to rule the world, and you guys do. You guys control a lot of stuff. You guys have something that men want all the time, and it's a gold mine for you guys. It's a gold mine. If you don't want to work, you can sell that thing, whatever the thing is. You guys should never be poor. There's always a way to go about it, right? But here's the thing. Kamala Harris, who right now in this election season has now turned and has identified herself as a Black woman once again, she's going to be the standard bearer. And a lot of women think that, oh yeah, Kamala, blah, 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 Sororo, ski right? But here's the thing. Kamala is not the most qualified person to be president. Think about this. She was selected. She was a DEI hire. If you guys don't agree with me with that, I get it. But the fact of the matter is, she was selected. If you remember during the debates, she basically called Joe Biden a racist. She basically called him a racist. And then when she was selected to take a job, to do her own people, to do people in, she's a DEI hire. She's a DEI hire. There were more qualified women on that list to be vice president, and Joe Biden picked the less blackness woman he can pick, which was Kamala Harris. Okay. But let's be real about this, and I'm going to be serious. I'm from California. If you guys remember, and it's unfortunate that we have a short memory span in this country. If you guys remember, Kamala Harris dropped out of the race before the California primary. Why is that? Because she could not carry her own state because of her record as an attorney general of California. Now, on my page on Facebook, I put up an old video of Tulsi Gabbard dismantling her in 4 minutes. Jeff says, Donovan, not sell that thing, Lord in heaven. But it's true. A woman should never have a pocketbook that don't have any money in it. It's true. If push comes to shove, they've always got something to sell. It's the oldest profession in the world. We all know that. Who has been running this country for the last 3 years? That's one of the questions that Ms. Sweet Talk has said, and I've said. Ashley Barbara, she is evil like her team. Exactly. She is not black, and she's a hateful too. Just ask the brothers and sisters in California. Right. I'm one of them. When you can't carry your own state, you remember California has 55 electoral votes. You need 270 electoral votes to become president. It doesn't matter what your popularity vote is. As we know, Hillary Clinton had 7 million votes ahead of Donald Trump, and he became president. 55 in California. California is a Democratic state. It's Democratic, but she was overwhelmingly rejected by her own people, and she dropped out of the race. So we got to look at this strategically, especially for you people that are Democrats, especially you hardcore Democrats. The Democratic Party does not want to win this election for president. They are trying to hold on, and they're going to hope that you guys forget what is going on as they obstruct Donald Trump as much as they can in the next 4 years of his agenda and what he wants to do. Isn't it funny how they use the same playbook, but they're two different parties? It's the same playbook, obstruct, 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 until we get into power, and then it just flips and it flips and it flips. So there are a lot more qualified people than Kamala Harris to lead the Democratic Party, but they don't care right now. They're resigned that they've lost the presidency. So if Kamala Harris is the standard bearer of the Democratic Party, you guys be aware that you're going to lose. The Democratic Party is losing the presidency, and I don't think they're going to pick up any seats in the House or the Senate. They might even lose the Senate. It is that bad. And this is what happens when you lie to the constituents and you lie to your employer. We are the bosses. The Democrats held no primary. They told you who was going to be your nominee. That's one thing you should not do. You should hold primaries. As much as you might not like Republicans, they held the primary. They held one. And guess who did not attend the primary? Donald Trump. But the fact of the matter is, they got to see other candidates. So Lay says, blah, blah, blah. Y'all said pick someone else, and when they do, it's a problem. I don't care who the Democrats pick. It doesn't matter who they pick. They're not going to win. It's just that cut and dry. And if you're going to pick somebody, Kamala is not the one to pick. But you got to ask yourself, who can the Democrats pick as a standard bearer in their party? They did legal warfare against Trump thinking that Biden was a shoo-in because of all this litigation. You know, Lay, I know you've been on the show and trolling us for a long time, whatever the deal is. The bottom line is your party, your president has now quit because he is in cognitive decline and has been in cognitive decline for a long time. Now, why you're upset at that, I have no idea. I didn't tell Joe Biden to drop out. He dropped out because it was obvious the donors, everybody saw for ourselves with our own eyes what we saw. And I'm not putting words in your mouth. I hope I'm not. But you're almost like saying, hey, don't believe your lying eyes. Don't believe, what your ears are hearing. We all saw it. 76% of Democrats, and I'm not a Democrat, 76% of Democrats wanted Joe Biden to go so they can get another representative, another nominee. And here we are, 100 days out. How do you think you are going to galvanize the Democratic Party when we see what Democratic policy has done? You guys, how long ago did Demetra and I say, mathematically, if you lose 20% of the black vote, you can't win. You can't win. They need the black vote. And have you guys noticed for the last 3 to 4 months, they have been trying to shame black people, come at black people, and just do whatever they can to get us to start voting for them. And it did not work. It did not work because a lot of black people are waking up. Democrats, go to the LGBTQ, go to the Asians, go to the Hispanics, go to the Dreamers, go to the illegals, go to the Ukrainians, go to the Taiwanese, go to the Israelis, go to the Afghans. You've done for them. You should be able to sit up there and say, we did for you guys. Get your butts to the polls, and you better be there and vote Democrat because you did for them and we did for you. You didn't do nothing for black people. So why do you keep bothering us? It is obvious you guys have blown it, and black people are now awake. A lot of us are awake. And what it is you've told us straight to our faces, I don't expect to do anything for black people specifically. No, we're not doing that. Okay, that's fine. We heard you. Why are you bothering us? But this is what you do when you crap on your base supporters. This is what happens. And you guys, I'm so glad that is happening because maybe now they will start taking us seriously and not for granted. Because politics is about what? Power and money. That's it. And they want the power and they want the money. And now they're saying, what the playbook is not working. We've tried everything. They're still not listening to us. That's right. We're not listening to you guys because we have platforms where now we are talking across the nation, across the world. And we are realizing it's not a regional problem. It isn't just an LA problem. It's a United States problem. And we have to stop looking at the world the way we think it should be versus the way the world actually is. It is no surprise to me that the Democrats and the Republicans, but we're talking about the Democrats right now, rather go down in flames. They rather lose the presidency than to give black people reparations and the money that they need. Now, Demetra and I, we have a big disagreement on the status of black people. I am of the firm belief 70% of black people, we ain't making it. We are a permanent underclass. And this is what I try to tell you guys. I know a lot of you guys don't agree with me, and that's fine. You don't have to agree. But how do you become a permanent underclass if you're making it? And that's where Demetra and I have a disagreement, because you can't become a permanent underclass if your group is doing such a great job. We are a permanent underclass. Dr. Claude Anderson talked about this years ago. We are now a permanent underclass. That's a fact. You might not agree with my numbers, but are we not a permanent underclass? And if we are, then that means the majority of us are not making it. We are either below the poverty line, at the poverty line, or just above it. Those are facts. I was just in Atlanta, Chocolate City, and I saw so many people there that were delusional. They're in this bubble in Atlanta where you have some affluency and stuff like that. But when I was looking around Atlanta and I saw the big buildings and where the real money and the power was, I didn't see too many Black people owning those buildings and owning those things. Yeah, you had Black businesses and stuff like that, but we're talking about real money and power. We're talking about the real power, not the little sugar shack that everybody goes to, and everybody there is gouging themselves. How do you pull up to a chicken shack that has what do you call it? Valet parking, and you got to park yourself, and they're charging you $20 so you can park yourself, but it's valet parking. It was totally crazy. And then everybody there name drops. They name drop. Oh, I know Drake. Oh, you know so-and-so? Oh, I know so. I was like, so what? What does Drake or so-and-so have to, are they putting money in your pocket? Everybody's faking it until they make it in Atlanta, in my opinion, just in general. Everybody's faking it to make it. We have Stepford wife women there, which is fine. Beautiful women. Beautiful. I mean, I was like, wow, they got some. It reminded me of Chocolate City back in DC back in the 90s when I was a young, guy running around there. I love DC and just beautiful sisters. But again, the attitudes. Oh my God. The entitlement. Oh my God. Everybody knows this person. Everybody knows that person. Oh, we're going to this concert. Everything in Atlanta when I was there was feel good. Everything was about feeling good, eating good, and no shade on that, but it's a bubble. That's not the real world. If we're 13 or 14% of the population, a chocolate city is not normal in the United States. That's not the real United States. I live in California, 6% Black population and decreasing. Not saying that that's normal either, but the fact of the matter is, it isn't adding up, and those people are delusional. They're all delusional. Stepford, all the girls look the same. They got the same look. They got the BBL, and more power to them. But then you ask them about who is their representative, who is what they just go with the soundbite. Nobody does their homework. Oh, well, 2025, Donald Trump is going to do this and that. I said, how do you know that? Oh, Joy Reid on MSNBC told, you're listening to sound bites. Did you read it? No. You want to hide something from a Black person? Put it in a book. That is so true. That is so true. Let me read some of you guys' comments real quick. All right. It says, Miss Sweet Talk says, Samuel says, what's up, Donovan? What's up, Sam? Miss Sweet Talk, we the people. Samuel says, as far as I'm concerned, Donald Trump and the Republicans have won the election, and it ain't even election day. You got that right, brother. Gerard Parker says, Kamala's presidential campaign didn't even make it to 2020. Exactly. And Gerard, so many people have such short memories. Oh, she's a woman. Woohoo! Ski-wee. How is that going to change your life that she's a sororo and she's a part-time Black person when it's convenient? She's a DEI hire. She's a DEI hire. What kills me about Kamala and what kills me about the sisterhood, and I'm kind of glad Demetra's not here because she's going to push back on it. What kills me about the sisterhood is this woman slept her way to the top. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing because you've got women that will do it. You had more qualified women that could have been in that position and is a far better leader than Kamala Harris. She can't talk. She has a cackle. She makes a lot of gaffes. And I'm just looking at her as a political pundit, you guys. The fact of the matter is this woman skipped the line. And, speaking of people, been in politics, especially females, have been in politics for a long time. Sheila Jackson Lee just passed away. I think it was Friday night. May she rest in peace. If you like her, you don't like her. I wasn't a big fan of hers, but, she's not here anymore. 30 something years of public service. And to look at her record, if you go to the congressional record of her, you can look it up on Google. 30 something years of a congressional record, and not one thing specifically done for Black people other than HR 40, which is just a study. 30 years of service, and she would not give up the ghost. Why is it that our Black leaders, they die on the toilet seat? Why is it? And I say toilet seat because like my banner says, Black politicians ain't in, as far as I'm concerned. Show me a Black politician today that is unapologetic and is out there fighting and has something tangible to bring back to the Black community. Doesn't exist. Lay says, who can Republicans pick? A felon. Yeah, they picked a felon, and that's the way the country rolls. There's no rule against it. See, Lay, what I don't understand is, I don't know how much the Democratic Party is paying you, but you are a very intelligent woman, and I can tell you are intelligent. However, I know you got a job to do, but there are a lot of felons in the Black community that go on to do great things. They go on to do great jobs. Martin Luther King, he was in jail. He was convicted for disturbing the peace and all that other stuff. Malcolm X was a felon. So what are you saying, Lay? For everything that you say, there's an answer to it, or there's a reply to it. It doesn't make sense. So Donald Trump's a felon. Malcolm X was a felon. What? So you're trolling or stating an opinion. Okay, Lay, I'll give you that. If you're stating an opinion, you're stating an opinion, and I'll give you that. So I won't say it's trolling. You're stating opinion. So Miss Sweet Talk says facts. Only Pam's Way says, this is what happens when you overlook and hand illegals our reparations. And we, the new Black media, told them. Our sis Vicky Dillard sat down and talked with RFK. Exactly. They totally ignore us, Pam. And then they hit the panic button. Why is it that it is Black people's responsibility to save democracy? If democracy was on the line, and Leah, I'll give you a question. If democracy was so sacred and it was so on the line, why would you run Joe Biden as the standard bearer to stop to save democracy? You need a stronger candidate to go up against Donald Trump. I'm just saying, let's take our personal feelings out of it. If you want to win, you do what you got to do to win. I'm not going to leave Kobe Bryant on the bench and the game is close and I'm in the fourth quarter. How many of you guys remember that game with the Patriots and the Seattle Seahawks? You're on the 1 yard line and you don't give the ball to Marshawn Lynch. Who does that? If you want to win, you give the ball to Marshawn Lynch. If you want to play games, you attempt the pass that gets intercepted. Sam UC says, once again, you're speaking facts. Gerard says, it's not about the candidate, though. They are expecting Trump to motivate Democrats. I would agree with you in theory. I'm going to agree with you in theory. But here's my question, Gerard. Aren't both parties the same when it comes down to it fundamentally? They both serve corporate masters and they're playing good cop, bad cop, good cop, bad cop. So, to motivate the Democrats, again, the Democrats can't win if you lose 20% of your base voters. So how is that going to motivate Black people to continue to vote for Democrats? The Black people that have walked away from the Democratic Party, I don't think are going to walk back because Joe Biden stepped down. But that's something to think about. Miss Sweet Talk says, yes, using scare tactics to get us to vote Democrat. Jeff says they are going to use the Black woman, migrant family, and racist Republican narrative to start either a civil or racial war. It's one big setup, Donovan. Yeah, well, I tell my sisters all the time, You could be head of household and you can do all those great things, but please have a weapon to defend your family, because Ray, he's probably locked up or running the streets. Your dad is probably a city over. Your boyfriend or your man is maybe 4 blocks away. It only takes a couple of seconds for an interaction to happen. So ladies, please do something to protect yourselves. Only Pam says, Sister Demetra put that video out on X earlier. Yeah, there you go. Miss Sweet Talk, speak on it. Lay says, huh? And Lay, I love your commentary because you get everybody thinking. And this is what the show is about. It's supposed to have differences of opinions, and it keeps us on our toes and it keeps us honest. So please keep coming with that. Like I said, don't think that we're just attacking you or things like that. Even though sometimes I feel you're attacking us. So we're going to give you just what we get. That says so much. They're the Titanic. Yep. We are the underclass, according to Miss Sweet Talks. Carmen Hinton says, you're right, Donovan. Miss Sweet Talk says, follow the money. Exactly. Reminds you of California. Exactly. Only Pam's Way says, I find it quite interesting. If we're the underclass, why are they always asking us for our votes? They are always copying us. I wish more people would think like that. You got to look at it for what it is. Earlier today, I did a video and I was comparing everything to the Matrix, right? Remember when Neo got unplugged and he saw the world was a nightmare and that was the real world. But when they plugged him back in, he saw everybody plugged back in, they're thinking it's just this great world or whatever. That's exactly, I think, is the problem with a lot of people. We look at the world through a Disney lens, the way it's supposed to be, but we don't look at it for the way it is right now. And if you don't fix it for the way it is right now, it will continue to get worse. You've got to address the problem, not say, well, one day. That's why that song, we shall overcome. To me, that is the stupidest song I've ever heard. And I don't mean to be disrespectful, but I think that is the stupidest song I've ever heard, because they never talk about overcoming. It's we shall one day. That could be thousands of years from now. You might not ever overcome. We need the ones that are like in your face, fear of a black planet, fight the power, that type of stuff, Pamela says, I find it quite, okay, we did that one. Carmen says, the great delusion, right? Lay says a DEI hire. Yeah, you know what a DEI hire is. It's just, she fit the boxes. How do you call a man, your boss, a racist? Basically, he wasn't your boss yet, but you're on the stage and you're calling this man out a racist, and then he hires you to be his running mate. You don't think there was something going on there? Was Kamala willing to do whatever it takes to get to the top spot? I mean, let's call up Willie Brown of California. Let's call up Montel Williams. That's how she got her start, and she jumped the line. It's amazing to me how women support this woman who really makes it harder, in my opinion, for women to be taken seriously in the business world. Because for all I can see is she slept her way to the top. I'm not saying I would indulge in that, but what kind of precedence is that setting for young women, young girls that aspire to be a vice president or whatever? The template obviously is to sleep your way there, because there hasn't been a woman vice president, much less president, that has gotten to that position based on their own merit. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but I'm just telling you the way that I see it. This woman did not earn her spot. She was selected. And how she got into politics was she slept her way into politics with a married man. Those are facts. Sisterhood is fake. Michael Pan says, Donovan, you are wasting your time with both political parties because your generation and baby boomers don't like to think outside of the box. Well, I think outside of the box. Like I said, the older generation, they don't give a damn. Baby boomers don't give a damn. They got theirs, and that's the bottom line. They could care less. How many of you guys have heard of the prescription drug problem and the insulin problem? I counted in my lifetime 4 cycles that they keep talking about this stuff. Why hasn't it been solved yet? When Obama came into office for 2 years, he had the House and the Senate. He could have done whatever he wanted to do. He got the LGBT, their stuff. He got the Dreamers, their stuff, right? The Dreamer stuff is still going through the courts right now, years later, right? When Biden came into office, he had 2 years to do whatever he wanted to do. Asians got their stuff. LGBTQ got their stuff. Everybody got something. Hispanics got their stuff. Blacks didn't get anything. We always get an excuse. Lay says, just to study, how else would we get reparations? Lay, let me ask you a question. What about reparations don't you understand? Go to the dictionary and look it up. Reparations is a financial repayment of a wrong. That's all it is. So why do we need a study? What about slavery do we have to study? We know it was a wrong, right? So why do we need a study? Why do we got to keep studying this? It was something that was wrongly done to a people that were brought here against their will. We're the only group of people that we didn't migrate here because we wanted to come here. We didn't do that. We're the only group that was forced here against our will and made and built this country. All we're asking for is just compensation. Thus, the definition of reparations, a financial repair of a wrong. That's all we're asking. Michael says, I've entered my name in the ticket, but it is not red and blue. Good for you. Lay, I'm flattered that you think I'm being paid. Well, put it like this, Lay. If you're a diehard Democrat, I'm going to tell you this. I respect those that stand 10 toes down for what they believe. So I'm going to give you that. I do respect that about you. If that's what you're doing and you're standing 10 toes down, hey, more power to you. Lay says, I'm saying F Trump. Hey, and that is your right. That is your right to do that. But the fact of the matter is Trump will be the next president. Ashley Barber says, right. Michael says, millennials and Zoomers and boomers are more likely than baby boomers and Generation X to vote for third-party candidates. I'm glad you brought that up, Michael. Speaking of third-party candidates, the Democratic Party now is in flux. We have less than 100 days. Michael, you're a very smart guy. If you look at Cornel West's platform and what's her name's platform and RFK's platform, right now they're just taking away votes. Why don't they combine all of their candidacies and form a coalition and run pretty much together? Because if you look at their platforms, they all are pretty much saying basically the same thing. Wouldn't that make them a stronger third-party coalition group to vote for? They did that in France. As we know, France has a parliamentarian system of governance. But the point is, those three candidates, Jill Stein and Cornel West and RFK, they can form a coalition and come to some kind of agreement as one person running and really be a serious threat to the other two parties at this point, because you've got a lot of people that are going to sit the couch. And maybe they can pull those votes from those people. Lay says he already beat him in 2020, so why wouldn't he believe he could do it again? Well, Lay, yeah, he beat him in 2020. The reason why he would believe, and I'm answering your question, the reason why he would think he could beat him again, because he's in dementia. He's not going to beat him again. He's in cognitive decline. He is totally delusional. All right. That's why he would think that. That's just my little joke. That's my little joke. He's gone now, so it doesn't even matter. He's already endorsed Kamala, so stay on topic. Pamela's very right. Why would you put someone who is not able to lead in that position? Michael Pan says, Lay says, scare tactic. Which scare tactic? Oh, the scare tactic. Oh, the 2025 plan. We got to be, oh my God, if Trump gets back in there, he's going to do this and he's going to do that. Lay, if you're at the bottom, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who comes in the power. because they got us where they want us. When you are at the bottom of an economic system, you're not a threat to anybody. You're not. We are basically no different than our ancestors were that were in slavery and were freed. We have nothing. We have no substantial material things. A third of Black wealth, a third of Black homes were lost in 2008 alone, and they still haven't recovered from that. They keep taking from the Black community. All this gentrification, all this stuff that's being taken from us, it's coming from the Black community. And guess who's benefiting? All of these immigrants and people that they're bringing here, because they're giving them the capital to open their businesses and to do those things. They're not giving that to foundational Blacks in this country. They're not. We're losing our wealth every day. And again, when you have nothing, it doesn't matter who comes in at this point. They've got us where they want us. And that's the bottom line. Michael says, I would advise you guys to get your passport because America's dying very quickly. I always believe in thinking outside of the box. Hey, I already got mine. And Lay says, Lay, again, you are a very pivotal person to the show because you give that other side, which is great. I love it. I would never attack a Black man. Well, hey, we're talking in debate. There's attacking in debate. And discussion. There's nothing wrong with that. Well, thanks to Biden, it's illegals out here driving and causing accidents. Right. Now, speaking of illegals, Pam, when it comes to illegals that the Democratic Party has let into the country, the floodgates have been open. The only group that affects is Black people. The worst jobs, the bottom line jobs that were there are now there. I see young Black people running around here who can't get work. You want to know why? They can't speak Spanish. Here in California, that is basically a prerequisite to get a job. They can't speak Spanish. So I go to the school board and I write a letter to one of the school board superintendents. And I say, why don't we have a dual immersion program for our kids that are Native American people that are here? Because they're at a disadvantage. They are not getting hired for jobs because they can't speak Spanish. Because a lot of the customer base for these corporations now are Spanish-speaking people. And if you can't speak Spanish and you're applying for a job, who do you think is going to get the job or the position if you don't speak Spanish? The Spanish-speaking person. So great show as usual. Now, thank you, Spice of Life. Let me get down to the bottom here. You guys are killing me. You guys are killing me because I didn't want to be on here too long. Ashley Barber, Obama is a sellout. Carmen, Obama chose the banks and everyone else lost their homes. Right. And more so lost homes were Black people. See, and this is the thing I want everybody to understand. We have to look at the world the way it is, not the way it's supposed to be. They're selling us a dream. If you vote for us, when we get in there, we're going to do this, this, and this. Did not the Democrats and Joe Biden say that if we give them the Senate, that he was going to repeal qualified immunity? For 2 years, he had the House and the Senate. Nancy Pelosi did not bring it up once. Student debt forgiveness, didn't bring it up once. He has the executive pen. The president has the unilateral authority to forgive federal debt. He can do it. Simple as that. But he chose to make it a political football and put it in Congress and then say, we tried. When those of us that know, he didn't have to do that. Black people are in a sad state. And the question that we got to ask ourselves is, what do we do? What do we do at this point? JJ, I want to be compensated so I can leave America. Right. And I'm not leaving without my check. So let's come up with some solutions. With 100 days to go, if the Democratic Party wanted to win, what do they have to do, you guys? And you guys are smart. You guys know what they have to do. Cut the damn check. It's that simple. I would tell you guys to vote Democrat. But we're not going to get them elected and then hope and pray they give us something. No, we're not doing that. We need the money now, up front. Don't tell us you can't do it because we see the money you've given to Ukraine. We've seen the money you've given to Israel, all this other stuff. Cut the damn check. So let's not fall for all that foolishness. Samuel says, I've been registered independent since 2012 and never looked back. Man, dude, I became a recovering Democrat in 2000. When Gore lost the election and didn't fight for it, I was done. I said, the Democrats ain't serious about anything. You know, only Pamela's Way says, I wonder if Fish Fry Clyburn asked anybody, why you effing with me? Oh my gosh. Okay, in all seriousness, you guys, at the end of the day, you guys know as well as I know, Donald Trump will be the next president because the Democrats have nobody that in any way can challenge Donald Trump. Kamala Harris cannot do it. They knew Joe Biden was in decline. I'm almost thinking that somebody, if the Democrats were really serious about a candidate, why would you demand a debate from Donald Trump knowing that your candidate is in a condition like that? It's almost like there's something else to it. There has to be, because nobody's that stupid. Nobody's that stupid. And again, when the donors told him you need to go, he left. He was like, yes, sir. Yes'm. I'm out of here. But when the American people say you got to go, whatever, he's like, nah, I'm staying. I'm the president. You know what I mean? It's like we've got it so messed up now. These people are public servants. They are public servants. They're here to serve us. And we, for some reason, think, oh, that's our leader. That's a leader. It's not a leader. He's a public servant. He's supposed to listen to what we want. And we've got it so twisted. How does Nancy Pelosi still have so much power in the Democratic Party? Ask yourself these things. You know, it's just crazy. Lay says bloodbath is a scare tactic. That's why y'all scared of white folks and you gave up already. You gave up your rights helping Trump get into the White House. Good luck to everyone. Well, like I said, that's I never said that because I'm politically aware of what's going on. It doesn't matter what party you are, Lay. You know, you could be a hardcore Democrat. You could be a hardcore Republican. It doesn't matter. Both of these parties don't give a damn about black people. The Democrats rather lose elections than give black people what we have earned and what we deserve. Free labor to build this country, minimum $17 trillion. All the economic people have already done the numbers. The minimum you would have to give black people is $17 trillion. That's the minimum. So Brianna West, hello, Donovan and everybody. Miss Sweet Top, Brianna West. So true, Donovan. Dang, I'm really late. Well, you're not late. I didn't want to be on here too long. Like I said, without my compadre, I have nobody to argue with. It's really hard to do this without me eating Demetra's lunch. And since we're talking about Demetra, I want you guys to know she is out there cruising on the thing, not a care in the world. If this world was the crumble, United States was the crumble, she is nicely and safe on a boat in the middle of the ocean, just floating away. She's just floating away. So Demetra is, she's checking out of here, you know. You know, Miss Sweet Talk, yes, Biden lied about the student loans. I mean, all of this stuff. Please explain to me how everybody else could eat off of our vote, but we can't eat. It doesn't make any sense. You know, it just doesn't make any sense. No, Lay says, y'all think Trump is for reparations. No, he isn't for reparations. Most white people aren't for reparations. Asians aren't for black people getting reparations. Hispanics don't want black people to get reparations. We know that. But see, Republicans don't come to us for our vote. They don't come to us for our vote. That's the difference. Every 4 years, every 2 and 4 years, the Democrats come and talk about what they're going to do. Oh, yeah, you get me in there. I'm going to do this, whatever. And we get nothing. And people are waking up. We know that they're not for reparations. The Democrats aren't even for reparations. See, so, Lay, I don't get your thought pattern. Republicans aren't for reparations. The damn Democrats ain't for reparations. So what's the point? What's the point? You know, again, it's just kind of crazy. Michael says, Donovan, if you were a recovering Democrat in 2000, why did you support Obama? You are contradicting yourself. No, I'm not, Michael. See, because you got to understand Black people. When Obama ran for office, it was something historic we had never seen before. Because remember, when Obama ran, Occupy Wall Street was happening. People were occupying Wall Street, Seattle, all the major cities. It was chaos in the streets. So what they did, how many of you guys remember this? Because I was in the military at the time. Well, not in 2000, but when Obama came into office in 2008. You remember in Baltimore, the Democratic Party rented out that hotel and they brought him and Hillary into that hotel. And that's where they told Hillary, we're going with this guy. You could run next time. And that's where the deal was done. And guess what? Obama became the nominee, right? What happened to Occupy Wall Street around the nation? Everybody just stopped because we never seen a Black man get a nomination and get the support, right? It was a beautiful thing for the Democratic Party and the Republican Party to put this guy into prominence so that all of the rebellion can stop across the United States. And that's exactly what happened. Occupy Wall Street stopped because everybody was so focused on a Black president and a possibility of a Black president. So understanding Black economics, just like Black people are born to be Democrats, when you see a Black president or somebody that could be one, hey, I had nothing to lose. I'll throw my support behind this guy. I voted for the man twice. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. So the second time, that's on me. But how many of you guys remember Occupy Wall Street and why it stopped? It stopped because they put this Black man up to run for president and everybody got behind him. So that's what it stopped. But anyway, you guys, I don't want to take up too much of you guys' time. So Kamala isn't for reparations? No, Lay, come on. Lay, come on, girl. You know Kamala is not for reparations. What did she say? What? You don't expect me to do anything specifically for Black people? No, she said that. Go to my Facebook page. It's up there. It's up there. I reposted it. She said she's not doing anything specific for Black people. And you know that, Lay. So, I mean, come on. Stop playing. Stop playing. Stop playing. Yeah, Carmen even said it. Do something for Black people? No, that's Kamala Harris. So why would she be for reparations? Come on. That's crazy. But anyway, you guys, Demetra and I will be back next week for sure. I don't know. Maybe Demetra might find her a little Dexter out there, wherever she's at on the boat, walking around. He'll be looking, he'll see Demetra, and he'll be like, what's a lovely girl like you doing on a boat like this all by your lonesome? I'm just here to just get away and get off the politics and just do my own thing. Aren't you Demetra K from the Demetra K Show? Yes, I am. Is that right? Where is this man who let you come on the boat by yourself? He should be in the room making love to you constantly. He's back in California. Is that right? If you guys see Demetra come back here singing I Shot the Sheriff, she shot the sheriff. Okay. And I hope that's the case. I hope that is the case. So again, I'm all for Black love. Thank you guys for tuning in. Lay, Mike, Only Pamela's Way, Brianna, Carmen, Alonzo. Who else came on here? Miss Sweet Talk. I hope Princess is doing good. everybody else, do me a favor, you guys, share this on your platforms, get this out. I'm going to be doing, now that I'm back, I'm very refreshed. I'll be doing more podcasts because this has changed the dynamics of the election. Everybody's talking about this. So we got to get the word out to what's going to happen. At the end of the day, it's going to be a Democratic or Republican nominee as president. And both of these parties uphold white supremacy. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter for Black people who becomes president. Neither party wants to do right by Black people. If the Democrats lose a couple of election cycles, maybe then they will appreciate and not take the Black vote for granted. If Kamala is the standard bearer, which I think they shouldn't do that, but if she's the standard bearer, she's going to get blown out. I said it on this show. Kamala Harris will be blown out as the nominee, and we'll never see her again. So it is what it is. I do want to say this. I upgraded my computer, put a 2 terabyte hard drive in, increased the memory. So this is my first time kind of using it and getting all this stuff together. And again, if you haven't been to Atlanta, their museum there is excellent. Go to that museum. A lot of historic stuff in Atlanta. What I liked about Atlanta was you had the old, Midtown was great. I loved Midtown. But you had like the old infrastructure mixed in with the new infrastructure. And, so you could see how the city's progressed and everything. And like, again, beautiful women there. Oh my God, beautiful women. People, the bad thing about Atlanta, I would say, was most of the people that I met there were not from Atlanta. There's a lot of implants, and that Southern hospitality that you would feel when I used to be there in the 90s, it isn't there anymore. You got that Philadelphia, New York, Ohio, it doesn't have that friendliness like it used to be. It's more like, that hustle scam mentality. And if you guys have been there, if you're from there, I'm not like shading it. It just is what it is. I mean, it is what it is, and it's a great place to visit, but I couldn't live there. There's no way I could live there. I mean, the housing, $300,000 for a nice little spot. I could give them that right now, being from California, but I couldn't live there. It's just too many distractions. I love Black women too much. I would get in a lot of trouble. I get into a lot of trouble. But again, don't forget to tune into the show. Give a shout out to Demetra. She's watching and she's listening, I'm very sure. She wouldn't give me the code to her show. I'm actually doing this on my show because she knows I would have just wrecked her show. She never wants to give me the wheel to steer. So it's just one of those things. But you guys do us a favor, share it on your platforms, get the word out. And I want you to think, if we are not a permanent underclass, then what are we scared of? 2025, whatever this thing is, so what? So what? We're at the bottom. We have nothing to fear but fear itself. We have nothing to fear. We're at the bottom. We have nothing to lose. We don't have anything. We have nothing to lose. The people at the top are the people that have things to lose. There is no middle class. I don't know why people keep saying that. Oh, the middle class. I'm the upper middle class. I'm the upper middle class. I'm the lower middle class. I'm the lower middle class. Either you got it or you don't. Either you got it or you don't. There is no middle anymore. The middle class is gone. Either you got the money or you don't. That's the bottom line. But thank you guys for tuning in. It is Sunday. You guys have a great evening. Stay prayed up. And again, ladies, I love you guys so much. If you are leading your family and you don't need no man and all that other stuff, I'm just going to tell you, the elections are 100 days away. We do not know what these people are going to be doing. Have a way to defend your family. That's all I'm asking you to do. Okay? Defend your family, defend yourself. Because it's funny, you don't need a man until you need a man, right? Yeah. All right, you guys. Have a great Sunday. We'll see you guys again. Demetra will be back next Sunday. So we're going to see what's going to happen there. Stay safe. Keep your head on a swivel. All right. Peace out.